It has begun.
Oh goodness, how? Why? Me. Might not like modern because it's actually updated. Yeah, try that
Okay,
again.
so stream, let me know if you hear audio correctly. Right now, this is just a practice game. If you guys are seeing this, I'm just making sure all the sounds are working. Or sorry, there's overlay on, so you can't really see it. But can you hear the game sounds, chat?
Don't have the yeah, you don't display on, but they're saying they have audio.
Okay, well, I'll switch away from the logo for a little bit. Crowdwalla is loud compared to voice. Okay, we'll turn down Crowdwalla just a little bit. All right, how is that? Is that too soft?
They're still saying a bit loud.
Maybe it's catching up a little bit. Now they're saying too soft. Okay, so I should be just about in line with my voice if I'm understanding OBS correctly. Is that true, chat? I've been turning up a little bit over time. We'll take a few seconds just to get it right. We're just right. All right, I'm seeing it just right and it too loud again. Slightly too high.
My baritone. My voice is not too low.
Okay, so at this point, we good? I see it perfect, but I think that there might be some subjectivity going around. All right, I see a perfect and a good now. Next, Noob, can they hear you?
Complained about it. Yeah, they're saying they're good. So the game, by the way, it's Yiren versus Yeesh. I will whisper them that we're giving just 1 minute for you to find it and get it up, and we'll get started.
Alrighty, so we're hopping into what's our game?
Yeesh. They
Are they in
this is a
Connery,
remake,
by the way?
actually.
The separate lobbies are always throwing me off a little bit, but I'm guessing they're in Connery, right?
Just dig through the giant Connery lobby, and you'll get there.
Oh, I see it.
I will whisper them.
All right, whisper them, but don't start yet. I still want to set up the scoreboard real quick, but that should only take a moment.
They're probably just watching the stream and cheating and don't
Right.
know when they're going to restart anyway, so I'm going to whisper. Go answer questions in chat. There are no questions in chat, just a lot of telling us that we sound good now.
Remind me once more who Yeesh is playing.
It's a W. Yerand.
Perfect.
Looking for some high level spy party action. You found the place. These guys are lethal on both sides of the laser. I don't care if it's not good. To answer your question, there's a it's gonna be happening eventually. regards to localization, there's threads and whatnot about it. It's not necessarily the biggest priority because there's fires to be put out here now, but it's definitely something that, or presumably, it goes actual Steam release. Yes.
All right, I think I have scoreboard ready to go. I see buffering starting, so they might have started a little bit before I was ready, but I think barely skidding into the finish, we were ready to go.
Going immediately to statues. Yish, I think, has finally woken up from his slumber.
All right, chat, let me know if there's anything that is missing, or if the sound is too bad. I'll be watching at me in the chat so it stands out because I'm not going to be able to read all the chat otherwise. But other than that, it looks like we're ready to go.
I'm getting a bit of lag on the sniper side. I would suggest just watching the spy if that also happens for you.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. These competitors are EU, correct? So that might be. I'm not sure how close they are over there.
Yish is a St. Louis boy. Year-end is Eastern Europe. As in, they're very far away from each other. It doesn't affect the game tremendously for us as long as we just watch the spy side, though, because it happens to be client side for the spy.
Or free camera, which is the other camera that we can use, and it's good. All right, so we are at one inspect. I was still setting up stream, so I did not actually see why he went for one inspect. Either there was someone blocking it, or maybe he got a red test inspect. Usually on Courtyard, it's pretty easy to pick up both inspects in one trip, but something probably got in his way.
Are the sort of guys who are constantly trying to get into each other's head. The sniper is going to catch basically everything. It looked like he actually did one inspect, just to prove to the sniper who was clearly watching, finish with this, you want to lowlight me? Or at least have less suspicion of me? It's actually getting that into each other's heads that they play.
I'm just going to say that was an inadvertently sick bug opportunity when Ambassador ran through that conversation circle. That would have been a sweet reverse drive-by, but you won't expect Ambassador to scroll through. Okay, so weird, kind of a bad spot.
It was going really well.
Yeah.
Bug?
Maybe bug? I mean, it looks like he's going for it.
The bug again. He's not clicking buttons. Here we go. Nope. He just wants to go by the ambassador 3 times.
This is not a lot of time left. He's gonna need to do something real quick.
It looks like he's committed to just not doing anything. Red test banana bread is not what you want.
Now here's the flip side of that. As far as like as a shot inducing thing, red test might be pretty good. So okay. All right, let's talk about actually why, in a weird way, red test was good in that scenario. Before they start the next game. So, as sniper, it's kind of embarrassing to miss red tests, to be totally honest. And so sometimes you really want to catch it, and so it's a way to kind of induce it. To be like, okay, somebody's banana bread, somebody's messed up, I need to shoot. Have you started next game yet, by the way? Because I'm going to try to lock in with you so that we're not...
I'm just on autoplay.
Oh, you're on autoplay? Okay, so you're going to be a little bit ahead of me, probably. How do you turn on autoplay, by the way? For the viewers and for me?
It's in the settings. So if you go through the settings, there's a lot of them. But one of them is going to be like expectation settings. So you can put it onto just sniper mode, or autoplay next game is one of the options. Caster mode also, so you don't see behind what they're up to.
True. Although caster mode in expectation is caster mode not automatic.
I was looking at the show. I didn't catch if you had it.
Yeah, I'm already on caster. I should be already on caster mode. Should be good.
I will let you cast this game because I'm already ahead of you. I'm not going to try to be able to catch up.
Okay, so I'm going to cast this game, and then Ponoob is later going to chime in with analysis because he's got like a 10-second advantage of me, and he's going to be like, obviously the spy is about to do blah, 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 blah. But that's because he's cheating, and he's in the future. So we are at contact done. We are 34% done with the flirt. right now, that's pretty open. That's a pretty standard, I'd say, opening for Spy on this map. You're getting a little bit of progress done.
Courtyard has actually only got 3 minutes with how the standard a bit less than one would actually expect for a map of this size, and you
Yeah.
actually have to do things.
All right, so right now Yish is picking up the fingerprint. So right now we have partial credit on Seduce and Fingerprint. We've done Contact. We probably will step in for Inspects. If we're able to get the second Fingerprint, finish Seduce, and step in for Inspects, we probably win. That is the shortest path to victory. We haven't picked up a highlight yet, so it's looking pretty good for Yeesh. I think he's committing to the slow play, low key tells, and trying to just get it past year end.
By the way, the laser lag has fixed itself for myself, so I suspect it's probably the same for you.
Yes, I'm thinking that the laser lag. Well, it might just be that now Spy Side's hoster, if I'm not correct. If I'm not correct, chat, correct me. But I think Spy Side's host, so maybe Yish's internet connection's a little bit stronger.
Had a fingerprint, so he went to go grab both the inspects and the fingerprint. The real question is, does Yiren know? Because it's going to make him a lot more suspicious if he remembered the ambassador was there.
Yeah. A little bit of an awkward path, but in the small conversation circle, 81% should be enough to finish from any location.
That's probably a shot if he talks.
Well, let's see. We got 8 seconds. It doesn't look like the shot's going to come off quite yet. It's probably going to be one of those situations that I actually kind of like, where the game's going to end and it was your top suspect that ended up being the spy.
So, Yiren is, and actually Yish also, are both players who are big pathing know-it-alls, and then go into that like crowded conversation. I thought he was going to pop him as soon as he talked, but he did not. It's a good win.
It is a good win, and it's a good win on Courtyard. It kind of shows off that Courtyard, you actually, if you get your fingerprints, Courtyard can be a Softel map.
When I first joined the competitive league, Courtyard got picked every single time, and I believe I mission winned every single game.
Chat is correct. I've not been updating scoreboard. I'm sorry. What is score? I think it is 2-0 Yeesh, unless I'm mistaken.
I just won and Sniper won, so yes. Beesh 2-0.
Yeah. Keep adding me for leaderboard changes. Every once in a while, I'm gonna forget. So yeah, this scoreboard takes a little sec. If somebody has, it sounds like maybe there was a. I have multiple jobs, magician. I don't have one job. I see that. Anyways, so remind me about score. Everybody chat, keep track because I might forget. And we're stepping in the gallery.
One other thing you can do, and this is for everybody, including Slappy, is that you can see the spectators on the left side. There is actually a setting if you want to have that removed. Games, I usually get them removed. It's distracting to know that you have the whole world watching you. I mean, these guys also know because they're being streamed.
Right, that is true. That's actually, and the thing is, for some reason, it's more stressful playing live than it is playing where you know you're gonna get cast in replays. But it just is, where it's just like right now I have to deal with the shame. Where it's like if you're playing and you know that the replay's gonna get cast, it's like all right, I got a few days to like make up an excuse for my shame. Where right now they don't have much time to make up an excuse for their shame if they mess up at all.
That's a soft rule when it comes to competitive or stressful games like you're being cast. Matches, it's going to be that spies get slower and snipers get more jumpy. Brent is doing the most baller play I think this stream has seen, and I think I've seen since Steam came out. Reading in the middle of nowhere. For it.
That is nice. We're not gonna. So I wonder if Yiren is gonna be able to pick up the fact that he was low lit. It's kind of an interesting spot. Maybe he thought he was coloring books when the laser hovered over him for a second. So I don't think Yiren's gonna know with much certainty that he's low lit at this point. As a matter of fact, right now he probably assumes he's gonna be high lit for going into statues.
Yeah. So to explain the logic, of why these two players think that that's a thing. So when you're walking out a gallery, that front conversation is very small and gets crowded very often. I will stop when they realize they get outside and look at the conversation and go, "Oh, there's not enough room here." Doubled down on that and said, "Okay, like an AI, I will stop, but then I'm also going to read the book because, in theory, I guess maybe that that can happen." I've seen it happen once, and it was actually against Yeesh in competitive play, and he shot that person.
Dang.
Lesson too much to a point that he's just rewarded Yiren for this obscenely baller play.
Banana
This
bread.
game's over, by the way. Low
Yeah.
lit.
Oh my god. Okay. Did he fake banana bread and then double agent join? I want to say that's true.
Baller in the world.
I missed the replay, but I could have sworn I saw fake pop up on the log, and then it became a real one as it stepped in. Maybe I'm totally imagining something, but I could have sworn that that was just some sort of like cherry on top.
Yeah, like listening to Elvis. Elvis, the biggest component for when we talk about players who get stressed, because Elvis, when he's playing really chill, really good player, and you can tell when Elvis is stressed because it becomes a lot. You can see it in the laser. You can see it.
You can
The,
see
the
it.
cogs moving. And it's true for most people. I'm not just pointing Elvis out. It's too stressed or not stressed enough. You need to be adequately.
How do you
Fun.
feel about your own play on that regard? Do you think that you're a
I
stressed player?
So I played two different games. I either have a really good spy day and I'm super smooth, and then I'm just slow on the sniper side, or I'm really jumpy. My sniper's catching everything, and then my spy just goes off the rails. I rarely have a game where I feel like my spy and sniper were both on point.
Yeah, and actually, so it's weird for me where I feel like I play a little bit worse under stress, but my spy style works really well against people who are stressed, so it kind of washes out. I like playing. Cause the thing is, like, I hate. Sorry, I'm gonna rephrase that. I hate playing. Like the actual act of playing while stressed feels terrible, but it's actually kind of a boon for me as far as winning. We're taking a while to set up the game. Aren't we just mirroring? I don't understand what's going on. Is that just me?
I mean, whisper loudly.
Well, I mean, like it's no problem. We can just talk about more stuff in the game. I'm worried that there's tech issues because this sometimes in between games it takes a while for things to get set up because they're choosing the map layout. But right now they should just be doing mirror. So I'm hoping. Yep, I see a match ended. I'm guessing maybe there's lag problems or something. Let's see
Give him a
if they
few. I
came
mean,
back.
we have enough veterans around. I'm sure we can get a game. But did anybody actually leave the lobby? Are they both here?
Yerend is in here. Yeesh is in finishing mode. So it's possible that one of them had a disconnect right at the end, or maybe they're just gonna reconnect real quick. It sounds like Yeesh's internet's out. Okay, so I guess we'll wait for a second. Noob, if you wanna let me know when they come back in, while we're just killing dead time, I'm going to just head into some practice games and show off some of the things. So during this time chat, if you have any questions about how to perform a task as spy or strategy or whatever, we got some time where we can actually show off directly what we want while we are waiting for another match.
I'll keep an eye on the lobby for you.
Perfect.
So, if you guys aren't aware, we'll keep on mentioning it over time, but this is a game that's on Steam now, as of Thursday. It's $25, and it's worth every penny. That's great. It's gonna only get better over time, and if you haven't noticed, it's really fun to watch, let alone play.
Okay, so what I'm going to be showing off in stream is a green purloin. I'm going to be standing in a weird way where a spy would never do this. So right now, I've rejected the list, and so did the next person that was targeted by Toby. They rejected the list. We're going to watch really close right as this tray goes up. and then it fades pretty quickly, and there's a bit of a delay. So on green purloin, the fade is quick, but it can happen at multiple times during the animation. And because I'm in practice mode, and actually reset the mission, and I'll show you guys again what it looks like. So let's see if I can hit a green. I can't, so now we're gonna try out the red test. This is what red test looks like. See how it flashes back and forth like that? That's great.
You can reset practice mode.
You can reset practice mode missions. It is Control M, I wanna say. Let me see if that's right. I'm gonna get a flirt in. I have muscle memory for it, but it is Control M indeed, yeah. So when you're in practice mode, if you just want to mess around, Control M resets missions, Shift M adds time automatically. You guys can look in the upper right-hand corner, see that a bunch of time's getting added in while I'm not even having to do anything. Again, this is practice mode. You cannot do this in real game, and you wouldn't really want to as Spy. Well, I guess you'd want to do the time add thing as Spy, but resetting missions would be actually bad for you.
It's left. Twin has no missions done. Wait, what?
Are we in a game?
Okay, Yishu's back, by the way. I think he's finishing up their technical difficulties.
Perfect.
Get back in.
All right, I'm looking for them. One thing that might be nice is a sort by in lobby, but I'm sure that is way down the priority list.
Spy wins, by the way. You can just go to the top.
Oh, you can do that. Oh, all right. See, now it looks like I'm just shilling for the dev by showing like, oh man, I wish there was this awesome feature, and here it is. Whoops, sorry, I'm inviting Yeesh. That's not the right one to do. I'm trying to spectate them. What are they doing? There they are. It looks like oh, here we go. They're playing. And they're probably not going to be doing pub. I think they're just setting up. Okay. Control Shift M for super cheat mode. Oh, cool. Ooh, oh, awesome. Chat is giving us a whole bunch of controls in the chat for the keyboard commands.
Come on, it's there's a lot that is on the back end of this game, and it just all makes it. When it's 100 things that are slightly better, it makes it just an awesome game. We're on the game though. Yish is what we colloquially call as Queen, a younger Queen Elizabeth, or any other queen. I imagine all queens look just like our queen.
That is true. Unfortunate that the seduction target bailed right as we were trying to get in-pad seduction, but it looks like we're probably going to be demanding that we get that. And we do get it, barely actually. She tried to bail again. Our seduction target, we can tell early on, our seduction target's not going to be behaving properly. We're going to have to actually like go out of our way to make sure we get our flirts done. And it looks like that is exactly what Yisha's doing. We're going to track that down, make sure we get seduction done. He decides against trying to squeeze himself in there, and that's a good idea versus Yirin in particular. You don't want to force yourself into awkward paths versus Yirin.
Notable things about this map is because of the length, you can get away with some things in the front window. Can take this bug, but now you can see Year End is not zoomed in. Because the ambassador's in a vulnerable position, he has to specifically go out of his way to make sure time watching the back.
Alright, we're 59% done, so we have a possible finish with the green test if we're low spy. Unfortunately, we chose a seduction target that's pretty slow. Oh, and they're going for the briefcase. Alright, we gotta do something else. That's gonna take a long time for them to do, unless Ambassador doesn't pick something up.
There's no flirt to do, there's no agent in conversation. He decides bookcase is gonna be his proactive move. I think that's probably optimal.
It gives him options at the very least, and right now he might be able to tell that his attention's being taken up quite a bit. Unfortunately, the head turn was super visible, but it really looks like Yirin's attention was on statues or purloin, because right now there's no highlight that's come off yet. Although it is true that sometimes snipers will hold off on highlighting if they don't want to give away the fact that they're highlighting. If he whipped his laser over to him after he did the microfilm, he would have let Yeesh know that he was suspicious of him. But he also could have very well missed it. White action test, unfortunate, 93%. We have one more flirt to do. But a drive-by, super clean looking. Maybe he sees the front hands a little bit. Yeah, he did. Okay, so hopefully I don't start too quickly because I want to see that bug again. Because that was actually a pretty decent bug. But what you can see on camera is the fact that the hand snaps out and snaps in. That's basically the only tell that's there. It's very slick, but it's basically there's like a little bit of an animation there, a little corner that you can see, and he does not get away with it. That is some nice sniping by Yerend.
The bug was sweet, the catch was sweeter. To answer your question there, Mech, are there red tests that can be good in certain circumstances? And the answer is yes, but. So, for example, red flirt makes it so your seduction target runs away from you. And that makes that person then potentially go to somewhere that's suspicious or opens it up that you can then go flirt with them at a better location. So, in that sense, yes. We saw the play earlier where that red test banana bread happened, and it made the sniper more jumpy, more likely to shoot because it's tilting. No, don't red test on purpose, you madman. Go green test. Green test is good.
I will say that earlier in this set, that red test cough that induced the shot. See, the thing about cough is, and we've talked about this before, is a lot of people would say that cough is red test banana bread is one of the tests that's like necessarily worse, and that's almost always true. But there's also this thing that it puts in snipers that's like embarrassing for them to get away with a cough, and they just want to shoot. It produces just like this actual emotion. It's like I want to find them and kill them. They coughed to my face. I'm gonna get them.
Yeah. The reality is, and I'm going to answer the corollary question: are green tests always better? And the answer to that is generally yes. But for example, if you do a swap at the very beginning of the game, and you do a white test before they even get a chance to look at the statue, that's sweet. If you do a green test, you've now given them a chance to look at the statue. Results in a white test might actually be better in that situation. But as a general rule, you're just going to cause more confusion, more noise if you do green tests because they are meant to be better.
The great thing about the differences, like we're getting questions about like, is our red test always better? Are green tests always better? That kind of thing. The great thing about SpyParty is you're gonna figure that out. Like you will, once you figure out the rules of SpyParty, it'll be really obvious to you in which circumstances they're better. Like you will figure out like, oh, green test swap is almost always better, but not if you're trying to rush the swap before they see it, because eventually what will happen is we go through like a little mini evolution as spies, because what's gonna happen to you is you're gonna die for green swapping early on and be like, okay, now I've learned not to do that. As spies, you just keep learning about stuff you can't do again, and you slowly get better and better at being spy by keep losing.
Yeah, the way that I played my first 2,000 games was every time that I saw something that I didn't like, that I thought was weird, I took the shot, and the act of losing, I use that as I need to remember this to do it. Um, there's no like ELO or anything, MMR. What you need to do, you can be competitive. I'm very competitive, but
Yeah, no, I
you
definitely know
can
what you
learn
mean.
so much.
Yes, and the bug looks like there was cover for it. So in conversation, bug has a lean aspect to it as well, so it's a little bit more obvious than walking bug a lot of the time. But it looks like there was enough cover that Yeesh didn't quite see it. So we're in a pretty good position because this is a bit different than our normal map layouts. This is any 3 of 5. There's not that many people on the map, but it also means you really only have to like you get away with this one hardtail like bug. You do flirt, you do seduction target. Sorry, you do flirt and you do banana bread, and you're good. So unless Yeesh is able to catch him for the flirt, or there's something goes wrong elsewise, I think Yeren's in a pretty commanding position. Oh, but a highlight. Okay, that's big.
I think this is exactly the sort of stuff when we talk about behavioralism. The idea of I think this has malicious intent, and this is why I think you're suspicious. He missed the bug. He missed the hardtail. And but now he's highlighting for being at the painting next to someone. In this case, it was indeed a flirt. It was a true highlight for good reasoning, helping him recover a game that he might have otherwise lost.
So the big question here is, okay, so the contact right now, not that many people in conversation, but then you have to be hoping that the double agent doesn't bail. If double agent bails, you're in a tough spot where you cannot
Banana
fingerprint
bread.
with this little time left. Well, actually, that's not quite true. Maybe you could finish with him, but we go for the banana bread instead. It doesn't look like Yish thinks that anybody is done, and he's going to lose.
The reality is, with these guys are so good that you can start taking advantage of the fact that they're so good. So Yeesh knows of how many missions could be done for everybody. He knows nobody's finished fingerprint. He knows the list isn't gone, and he knows that and flirt's probably done for most of the party, or could be done if he's not watching it particularly carefully. And then he's just assuming I am good enough to hit the bug, to catch the bug. He'll catch it a lot of the time. Don't worry about it.
So this is an interesting game mode. It's weird. It's weird to me that it's on high rise. So that one of the most popular 3 of 5 variants is on high rise. It's an odd confluence of events basically. So the reason why high rise has so few people is because it's not the biggest map, and also there's that choke point where the more people you add in, the more wonky collisions there's going to be. So we generally don't play with that many people on the map. But the map is really built like a hardtail map with all of the static cover. But then we play 3 of 5 on this map, and then it's this interesting thing where the left, basically the map is cleaved into 2 halves, where the left side is where all of the like kind of subtle conversation tells are going to go on, and the right side of the map is where the hard tells are going to go on, and it's pretty cleanly cleaved. There is a microfilm back behind them, but oftentimes they're going to turn that off. Notably, in this one, we do not have that turned off. With this one, we have Purloin and all the statue missions turned off. So we have no reason to visit statues in this game unless a fingerprint occurs.
Yeah, it looks like year-end highlight for a statue. I might just be wrong on his intent.
It's possible. Maybe there's some sweet, like, reverse psychology where it's like, it might be, you think you're going for a low light by visiting statues, huh? And then highlight them for that. But that would be that's some very tenuous highlighting if that's the case. Bug comes off, but it does not connect. It doesn't look like we're going to highlight for it, though, so all's well that ends well, I guess. We have 49% of the flirt, so it is possible to finish with a green test close flirt. And we step into microphone.
Special, by the way. I'm going to just give out some Yeesh special tech, and he can be mad at me later. Yeesh really likes walking away from Toby. So you have like 4 options, or 3 options, I guess, when Toby comes up to you. You can either take a drink, you can reject the drink, or there's a secret option of just walk away. He likes the walk away option.
Also, chat, there are a ton of experienced players in chat. Feel free to ask questions. We might not get to them on the stream, but there are some fantastic players, thousands of hours, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games. Or actually, I'm thinking I might have made that backwards. There's hundreds of hundreds and hundreds of games to the point where there's thousands of games in chat, and then they will answer your questions.
Yeah, Kaylee and Beery are both in chat, and they both have 20,000 each, like sort of idea. So we're probably easily over 100,000. Warring track, that's another 10,000. I can count 50,000 just looking at this freak if we've talked, since we mentioned this.
Alright, so we have a green book. We've done Seduce and Contact. I think we're gonna go for it. Oh, nope, we opt not to. Maybe you're trying to see if Yeren does anything. I mean, I feel like we kind of... Alright, so we basically have bug or transfer at this point. He gets low light. Okay, that's pretty big. And it's gonna be... Oh my god. Oh, wait. No. Oh, jeez. Oh, what? Oh, that was almost amazing. So Yeesh... Okay, that would have been really cool. That would have been unintentional laser avoiding. Had he known and reversed backwards, I think he would have won. But I don't think he knows that he was going in for the shot. So the crazy ending there was he goes to Windows right next to the bookcase that he's going to have to drop the book off at if he wants to complete microfilm. He reads right in front of the sniper. The sniper low lights him, I guess, for wasting time, basically, right in the land.
Doing
Right
something so useless, like reading at a window with 20 seconds left. Like, as casters, I want to go, why is he wasting time? But it's because he only has one mission left.
Exactly. And so he gets the low light right before he goes in for the bug. But then, even through the low light, that was Yiren that caught the bug, right? Yiren sees the bug and goes in for the shot. But because Yeesh is planning on dropping the microfilm off innocently, he starts on this wide path, and Yiren isn't quite able to shoot him initially. And it was like a few seconds left by the time that Yiren is actually able to hone in on him. Had he doubled back and honestly wiggled around a little bit, I think he would have won. But I don't think that Yeesh knew how close he was to being shot.
Yeah, what we call this in the community dancing. There are some particular players in the community who are more notorious for dancing than others. Yours truly, Slappy Davis, and I also dance. I dance if I want to. I leave my friends behind.
Dancing. So dancing is. Oh, we'll jump into this game, and maybe we'll see dancing later. I kind of doubt it between these two players. I don't think they're dancers, but dancing is an interesting wrinkle in the game.
They both, whatever it takes to win. Please bug here. Oh, that was sick.
There we go. And we don't pick a highlight for it. We were Papa Danger, so we probably could have gotten the bug. The thing is, I'm not the biggest fan of bug rushing on. If I say panop, by the way, chat, and you're like, why are you saying panop? This is library. Old habit, I apologize. It looks like we're going for the cheese microfilm. He's trying to back up out of this conversation and go for the cheese microfilm. So, yeah, no, he's definitely doing it. He's going for it right now. Let's see if the sniper catches it. So, right now, what Yiren is doing is he's using
banana bread.
He steps over the banana bread, too. He might even get a low light for being a bookcase. Let's see if he gets credit for it. He totally does. All right, that's a great play. Okay, so let's back up a little bit and talk about what just happened. The pillars on this map are pretty thick enough that if you angle yourself just right, you can kind of hide yourself in the back, stand in the position that the spy would never stand at, remove the microfilm, and then go back to the shelf and they don't see the animation. Now, if the sniper's looking closely or they use Q and E, usually, which is the lean function, usually they could see what's going on. Oh, it's so baller! Oh my god. Okay, there's just no way. There's no way he's gonna see him when he's low lit. Absolutely no way he's gonna see him when he's low lit. So now he's using the pillar that's on the far left side of the map to cover his microfilm animation and get away with it. The thing is, I don't think Yiren might realize that he's been low lit. He might have guessed based on the fact that after the banana bread, the laser hovered over him. But he's in such a good position right now.
So I've been teasing Yiren. I'm like, so these busts, those conversation circles that are on the outside, I thought those would be where people would be doing microfilms. And Yiren really likes doing these sort of optimal, I'm gonna go out of my way to find the best spot to do anything. This is actually obscene, though. He's showcasing everything.
Oh no! Oh
really?
No! Oh no!
Really?
Oh no! That's the one way you lose. The one way that you lose. Oh my goodness, greedy dude. This is some hubris. This is pride before the fall. Like this is a lesson, chat. This is a lesson, chat. Do not get cocky. Do not get cocky. Don't let your skill get away with you.
Congratulations to Yeesh, though, for pulling that out. We can criticize Yiren for doing the good old inspect swap. That Yeesh went, you know what? I'm gonna go check this low light and see if they swapped.
Yes.
In all regards, these guys are doing everything they can to entertain us.
That is true. Yes, we should not underestimate the fact that he was checking a low light at statues, which is something that I honestly don't do that well. If I see a low light checking statues, they're dead to me, and that's honestly not a good part of my play. Yeesh knows that he might have low lit the spy, knowing where your weaknesses are. Oh, Yeesh's.
Stop.
This is some payback, maybe. I don't know if Yeesh knows. No. Oh,
it's a
here,
bug right
here it is.
now.
Here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
Oh.
It doesn't take. The thing though is, Yeesh is visible. You can see that ponytail. You can absolutely. Yeah. Yeren knows, dude. I'm almost sure that Yeren knows. Does he really not see the ponytail? He doesn't. He keeps flipping around, and if he saw the ponytail, there's basically no reason for him to do it. Like, okay, so chat. Yeesh is definitely visible. Oh, I think he's done for. I think. No, he gets away with it. Oh my goodness, the greed. This is unpunished greed. Okay. Let's back up and actually explain what's going on. What's going on with that? So Yeesh was using a pretty slender character to hide behind the pillar, anticipating that eventually Ambassador is going to walk past them, and then they can do a reverse bug. So that was an intentional play. Now, Yeren might have been able to see the fact that the ponytail was still sticking out, and the fact that after he bugged, he left, and it's like, wait, where did that person come from? But Yeren was looking at too many other things. There's so much on this map to pay attention to that it wasn't looking.
Oh, absolutely. So, if you guys are familiar, there's a whole video called "But Did You See the Moonwalking Bear?" There's so much going on that anything that is so unlike what you're meant to be watching for, like a ponytail sticking out, you're gonna miss. Like, or the situation where someone's standing behind the security guard, like we saw earlier. You're not looking for that. You're looking for anything else. There's so many things that you're meant to be looking for. To a point that you can do a lot of stuff in this game. Like, I can spin around in circles for 30 seconds, and sometimes people just won't catch me.
That is especially true, and one of the best things that ever happened in SpyParty, as far as like a tournament, was the Wild Cards tournament, and that actually pushed the boundaries of being able to do slightly weird things. There was this one contract, I think it was, where you would get points in this kind of silly mode to be in a talking animation with the briefcase in hand, which you would never do, never ever do. There's no time that you talk with the briefcase in hand. We get a low light, by the way. That's pretty big.
Low light.
But then again, last time that there was a low light, that person ended up dying.
This game's over, 100%.
Yeah. We do get a. Oh wait, maybe we go for Purloin. That might be the one where we lose. It's gonna be offered, I'm pretty sure. Oh nope. Toby
We go mid statues if he thinks that he's low lit.
But anyway, so it was very obvious if you're looking at it and you see it and you see the person holding the briefcase and talking, you're like, wait, that doesn't happen. You'd be able to shoot for it. But it when you're looking around and you're not looking directly at someone, it's really easy to miss these kind of things. See, now Yeesh is in the exact same spot that Yeren was the game before, but he's not gonna have to swap. He does cut animation though, but Yeren was completely on the other side of the map.
Wave's gonna lose that if his Yeren somehow caught 3 animations or something. Cutting the animation's actually worse, but he's playing the cards he has, which is a nice hand.
So that was a strong game. He did. Chat's pointing out that he did burn a lot of time with his play there. I'm guessing he added time at some point during that match. I can't actually remember because I was so focused on the ponytail stuff.
At the first minute, just literally standing behind a pillar, right?
Yeah.
And there was no time adds there.
So there are other things that are kind of like that. Pat, that's one of the most odd ones, but when you get to a certain level in this game, you're going to look for small advantages that you can use to beat your opponent. Because remember, he spent a lot of time just getting a bug, basically. That's all that he got for it. But that little advantage of getting a bug clean meant that he only had to do 4 missions on Panop on library. I need to start actually using the term 4 missions on library, and that's changing from any 5 of 8 to any 4 of 7 on library is a big deal, and that's enough leverage that you're going to win a lot of the time. We are stepping into a happy hour pub, meaning I believe this is going to be crowded pub. We don't actually, I think, have an official name, but there's 16 guests. I can just look at the guest amount. So this is a pub. If you've seen Pub, I think we might have played it earlier today, where it was the non-crowded pub. This plays quite a bit differently.
Yeah, so this is 16 people though. This is standard. I believe this is what we saw earlier.
All right, we are stepping into bar. We might bail after a while. We're gonna be stuck at this bar for quite a while because we didn't request a drink. I think we might just leave.
Yeah, so why not? Yeah, he left. It's probably reasonable. Is you can always demand a drink to get earlier into the line.
Oh, we want to go for this bug, don't we? Oh, it doesn't take. Oh, it was so close. I'm very surprised that it didn't take. That was really, really, really close.
He thinks he probably did get the bug, though. Either that or it's completely unknown because he was...
Alright, so we're at 33%. We kind of killed a bunch of time at the bar and unfortunately a fruitless... this is a difficult fingerprint. Fail. So yeah, we're probably gonna have to do a quick hard tell or two. Well, I guess there's always contact. Oh, we just go for a rush bug, but we get away with it.
So he gets highlight for the path into doing fingerprint or for the fingerprint, and then doesn't get shot for the very aggressive bug.
Yeah, it's interesting because like it's funny that like during versus a lot of players that is Yeesh is signaling that he thinks a Bling Twin is the spy, and he is correct. We will see if he finishes off. I think he knows that he's in a comfortable enough position that he can wait. And there's a lot of real estate left for Urine to cover. And he's probably just going to die. If he goes in a statue, he dies. If he banana breads, he dies. If he adds time, he's probably going to die. Yeah,
He's being watched for bugs that he can't do because he's already done it. But he is clearly just being kept on camera the whole time.
And that's an interesting strategy, by the way. If you think that you might have caught some oak pathing, he's dead. Here it comes. Yeah, when you're highlight on pub, there's not that much cover, and you do that kind of bad pathing. Unfortunately, it's going to be painfully obvious. If he had chat, if you find yourself in that position against a sniper who can catch that, what he should have done is just stopped. After he stopped moving, he should have just completely stopped and then redirected, maybe into that conversation circle, maybe to somewhere else. But the fact that he basically clipped, stopped for a split second, and then went again, sealed his fate. AI won't do that.
I'd check with how many they were planning on playing more. Since I think we're getting close
I'm way out of scoreboard, by the way. I think I'm 2 missions out of scoreboard, but I'm pretty sure that Urine is still up a game or 2. I'm gonna credit them all both with the win, or maybe just each. I'm gonna say it's 5-3.
Whisper them during their game; they'll clearly be able to respond.
I completely the thing is when those 2 library games happened, I just lost track of all my hosting duties because I was so into the wackiness that they were showing off.
He's bugged, and it's one of those match because there's someone who is between him and the ambassador.
Banana bread.
As good as you're gonna get for a standing bug. That was.
All right, so we have a fingerprint at the back statue that Yeesh was definitely looking at, so he's definitely considering it. So I'm thinking he's thinking fingerprint inspect to finish. No, he delegates.
The statues are gonna be taken though. He can't do the fourth mission as.
No,
Okay.
delegation timer expired, so right now...
Yeah, don't reward him for that, Jared. Come on.
Yeah, well let's see.
Aaron does a fake light on
Does a fake
Yeesh.
light? Nice. So when we say fake light, chat, what we're talking about is they purposefully move their cursor over the spy and don't do anything to try to falsely indicate to the spy that they've done something like highlight or low light. Now this one might give away the fact that it was a fake light because that was pretty. He goes for the swap. That's very interesting because he's gonna pick up a fingerprint.
He's taking the fingerprint too. Like I think he may have flubbed that.
I think you're right.
Now, or the briefcase, he can win the game perhaps even before the swap happens. And knowing Yeesh, I suspect that might actually be the play.
So I think Queen is the one that is the AI being called over, and she's going to take forever to go over there. Forever. So he actually might get away with this because that is such a long time that's going to occur between the swap that a low light's going to be going into a statue. He's not going to care. And I think he's going to get away with this.
Now.
And Tex is covering it up, and he rotates around. Dude, he's totally going to get away with this.
Get out of the way.
Dude, Tex. Oh, dude, AI were such bros during this. AI were such bros during this. Tex steps in to block the statue and then picks up the statue as soon as Queen puts it down.
Four more, so 2 on each map, and I think then we'll pass it off to you do your hosting duties and get the true combo Tobo and Warning Track in here.
True. And if chat knows the score, let me know. I'm gonna give who won that last map? That was Yeesh.
They both start with Y.
Yeah, I know, it's horrible. I hate it. I think Yeesh won that last one, and that was a great one. So I'm gonna give him 2 points for that. That was great.
It's tied.
It's tied. It's tied. It's hype. Hype match, everybody. It's tied. We're super sure about this.
So we're moving on to the prettiest map of SpyParty. We're going to say that every single time we ever do this, aren't we?
Well, we're going to have to say the prettiest map of SpyParty because not a lot of us like it for other reasons. So we're just going to have to give it compliments where we can. Honestly, for any 3 of 5, it should be like 3 minutes and a couple more guests. I do not like this loadout. Any 3 of 5 is so hard for the spy on this small of a map.
And it was double modern. Now, Terrence, I play this map a lot. I think it's actually the maps that I really suggest to players that are trying to improve at the game. In both it helps when there's only a couple things that you have to watch. You have to watch Bug. You have to watch Purloin. But also because the map is so small, you get highlights like this where you're doing highlights for flirts.
That is true. This is a great map for learning on.
You get to a point where the snipers are mean and will shoot you every single time you ever take a list ever. Then it becomes less fun. It becomes a bit simplistic.
I think we're just gonna die here.
In this case, he caught it.
Yeah, so there's 2 parts essentially of a bug, of the tell of a bug to me. There's the arm part, and there's the path part. I don't think he saw the arm, but the path for the bug was pretty conspicuous. So we almost get an accidental low light right at the beginning, but he recovers. So that's a good point about this map that when you take away other things for the sniper to be looking at when you're a new or intermediate player, they basically have time to kill, like from watching Toby and the Ambassador. So they only have to, even if they're doing pure camping, they can only basically purely camp the list and Ambassador. And so they're going to have time to do other stuff, like while they're watching the Ambassador all the time, they're going to start learning how to track fingerprints. So it's going to come naturally. They're staring down the Ambassador, they notice the Ambassador takes a drink, they see that someone else takes a drink behind them, they're just going to realize that a fingerprint could have occurred. Also during the downtime, they might start seeing who is pairing up. and what's going on with the double agent, because
Banana bread.
this has one of the most that sucked. All right.
Do that.
Well, that happened.
Welcome to Red Test Banana Bread. Sometimes you die because you cough.
That was we're gonna take away a point from your end for that. But so on those small maps, it's actually a good spot for. We're doing 5 of 7. We'll see. I think on Players of the Skull, I think we put a 5 of 8, but that's just my thing. On the smaller maps, you can sort of ease yourself into behavioral tells or very slight tells, like trying to camp seduction target, because there's so little else to do. Like basically, Balcony became a popular map because they were doing it's like this fun arcade map. And then people were just so bored. We ripped the book out of that bookcase and dump it immediately into the bookcase. I love it. It's just like old Veranda.
Everything's old now, isn't it?
It's true. It's true. Honestly, I'm pretty impressed with
Courtyard
the
or
maps.
Courtyard 2 or Courtyard 3, because this is the confusing thing about Courtyard. We're not on Courtyard. Don't get too confused, guys. But Courtyard is the name of it officially. Courtyard 2 is the map that it's replicating, but it's the third Courtyard.
Right, so we're going to have CYP for Courtyard Prime, Courtyard 2, and Courtyard.
Okay, microphone done. Nothing else done. Get your float on. 51%. Jeez. I'm blind. I'm going to go over to the spy side.
So we're in a pretty good spot here. However, we did turn off contact. Now, normally you don't turn off contact on a lot of maps. This is one of the maps that contact is a little bit rougher on. You give away a ton of lowlights when you do contact. I still wouldn't personally cut it, but it is one of the maps that you can make the best argument for cutting contact on.
Saying if you're not at the conversations here that are in the middle, if you're on any of the far conversations, you can't see around the corner. Just been from there, you don't know necessarily how good your banana bread. Oh, these packing clubs are a bit sad, but they're thankfully not catching all of them.
Alright, so we're probably just going to wait around, get our second flirt, we get another green test, immediately stop talking.
Dude.
What are we doing? Alright, so this is basically the moment of the match. If he gets away with this, he wins. If he doesn't get away with it, he dies.
The highlight.
Well, actually, no, he doesn't. He's not going to automatically win because he doesn't have contact. He's going to really wish he had contact on, I think, right now. Because he's going to inspect. So he's got a lot of options because he can...
He's got to somehow find a way to do it.
Right. So he's going to inspect, and he might be tempted to swap at the same time just because. Right now, Wheels can grab the other statue, but that doesn't matter because we only have one inspect left. Good on us for getting that second inspect earlier. We might just swap right here, though, because I think he thinks there's enough of a body block. Yeah, he's going to. And we're not holding it up that high right now. And we're just... Oh, no, he green swaps. I completely missed that. So that actually probably would have been better for a white swap.
He's doing what I was thinking he was going to do, which is go approach the ambassador. Can't do a banana bread. Give the sniper something to watch. This ambassador getting moved around.
Oh, dance. Dance to it. Dance. Dang. Okay. I hope they don't start the next match too quickly because I kind of want to talk about this a little bit. So right here, when he gets the green swap, if he had gotten a white swap, Teal Dress doesn't actually hold the statue very high when she does when she has the raise. Game ended prematurely, so I think that they're done. So actually, I'm going to talk about this a little bit. So she could have absolutely gotten away with the white and just won, because when she held the statue up, I don't think Sniper was looking at all. However, she gets a green, walks away, tries to go for a bug to end before the person's called over. Then Wheels takes the statue, and he's able to see it. Then he tries to move behind cover right here, but the shot came off so long before that. because of the laser lag, right now he's shot at this point right here, but it takes like 3 seconds for it to catch up. If he'd been able to get behind that crowd of people, he probably would have won because I don't think Yeesh would have been able to shoot him.
Yeah, the only map that like rotate around to get a better shot is gonna be gallery. It's just if it's a few seconds, you're not gonna have enough time. But he can always move around and get the angle, or just make the MLG shot, the 360 no scope, and didn't move fast enough.
Yeah, that was a really close game.
If you didn't know, you can start from the front if you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead and I'll pause then. Go ahead and go up to the front. It said match ended prematurely, but then it auto played when they got back in. Maybe.
So when you're ready,
All right.
you want to do the countdown.
We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, are we rushing bug? Kind of seems like we wanted to, but we had a drink in our hand. Awkward pathing, but it's time of chaos. It's not gonna mean much. Time of chaos, by the way, is the first like 5 to 10 seconds of a match when all the AI are just getting settled in. There's a bunch of stuff that you're gonna watch. The sniper is having to choose what they're gonna prioritize right at the beginning, and there's tension is super split at the beginning of a match.
It doesn't help that, especially if it's like the first game that you're played for the day, that everything that time in regards to amount of things that could be happening, and you're the least ready for it.
All right, so we turned off transfer, which this is a rough map to cut maps or to cut missions on. There's no obvious standout. It's one of the reasons I love Veranda, is because the intermission map parity between the map mission parity is really high. So there actually isn't the biggest difference between missions. The one standout I'd say is seduction target is really easy to get away with on this map. If you look for it pretty closely, you do have to walk around to a lot of these small CCs, but I think seduction target is pretty easy to get away with. But then everything else is a little bit like more mixed up the air. Fingerprints not too bad. Double agent, what is usually a great mission for the spy. There's a lot of people out of conversation circle at any given time. Whenever you give up a banana bread, you give up a lot of the part, like a third, I want to say, most of the time.
The reality with doing your flirts, your seduction target mission, sniper is going to catch it very often, especially for newer players. They might never catch it or even care about it. It's more of the spy has to incorporate this into their game. See, if you go play some beginner versus beginner, intermediate, you're in your first 100 games, that because they aren't flirting aggressively enough.
It is true. And also, in general, sometimes this is not always going to be true. In general, flirting early, flirting often is a great strategy because most of the times when I'm caught versus players for seducing, it's because I'm having to rush it at the end of the game because I didn't do it earlier. So it is a great idea to just do a little flirt or two. If you don't think you can get away with a hard tilt early on the map and you're kind of deciding what the sniper's looking at, trying to figure out what's going on, flirt's great to just throw in there.
Bug, by the way. So he was staring at the spy. 1 second to cover, and he bugs right during it. It was really well timed.
All right, so we have. It looks like we're gonna try to finish with fingerprint. Yeesh is locked in on blue bookcase. I'm curious about how quickly he's gonna go over there because you don't want to rush fingerprint. Is he gonna go for the book or the briefcase? He looks like he's going for the book. Oh, nope. He is actually going for the briefcase. All right, so we're going to finish up fingerprint right here. It almost certainly looks like, unless he has some sort of huge pathing error, he's going to be fine. But he plays it cool, he has a nice stop, and he's going to win.
The game and the set and the match, we assume.
Yeah, it was some score to some other score. I'm going to say it was 7-7 tie. The winner is the SpyParty community for a great set of games.
The winner anybody who sticks around to listen to our buddy Tobo cast with Warning Track, for if you guys enjoyed us, then you're foolish. You have low expectations. You haven't met Tobo and Warning Track yet.
You have met
Bobby,
Tobo at least.
you want to do your plugs before we head out?
Let's see. What's the basic plugs? Okay, the game is Spy Party. You probably know that if you were in this chat, but you can get it. It is now on Steam or still at www. It's still on SpyParty.com, correct? It's just $25 now, right?
$25. I believe it's also on SpyParty.com. It hasn't been taken down or anything.
Awesome. So it's at SpyParty.com. Currently, there's kind of like a catch-22 that you're gonna have to wait for one feature if you buy one of the versions. So Steam has the advantage of you get all of the Steam integration stuff, but you're not going to get access to the forums yet if you buy it through Steam. If you buy it through SpyParty.com, you don't have Steam integration yet. That's coming very soon, we believe, but you are going to have immediate access to the forums. If it were me, this is my personal opinion, I would buy it through the site. I would buy it through SpyParty.com. I believe that the access to Steam is going to come quicker than the access to the forums. And to be totally honest, I think the forums are going to be way more important than having access to Steam. Don't worry. Whichever version you buy, you will be able to play with your friends because the lobbies go to the same place. There's no separate lobby for Steam players and for the players who bought it through the site. Everybody plays together. Right now, there's gonna be a bunch of people that have like a bunch of weird names when I go out here right now. A bunch of people weird names with like S crazy long number /Steam. Those are the people that bought it on Steam. They too will be able to change their name soon enough, but we are still figuring that part out. But the takeaway is you will be able to play this game with people no matter what. It's just some of the auxiliary functions like the chatting and the integration that you won't have with one version or another. Everything else good to go. You're able to play the game, have fun.
I think we just lost Warning Track that day.
Okay. Do we have our next
The other thing I want to note, because apparently Slappy didn't do so. Slappy does have his own stream. He's been doing. Actually, I go check out the VOD if you want more educational stuff, community stuff between both our like veteran streams, but also it's just you can go watch some entertaining. Pull up the any other Spy Party game. It doesn't have to be us casting. We do also have the competitive league starting Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, which we'll also be casting, and that will be it's going to be all serious though. We're all very serious people.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a ton of fun because it's been we're going to have this big influx of people coming in, and so I'm honestly I usually like looking at the higher level leagues a lot. Those games are great. I'm really, really curious what this influx is going to do to Challenger League. I think Challenger League is going to be amazing this season. There's going to be such a difference of because so not only that, there's going to be a lot of players that are going to be coming in, but then I think we're going to see players grow within the season. The Steam players and the people that are coming in right now from this influx from the streamers that we've had come in, this big influx that we have now that are going to be coming in the Challenger League, at the beginning of Challenger League, and by the time that they get to the playoffs or whatever we're going to end up doing with Challenger League, there's going to be such a growth in their individual play style where when we see Crazy Kaylee and KCM play at the beginning of SCL, and when we see them play in the finals at the end of SCL inevitably or whatever, they're not going to be improving that much between those 2 points. The players that come in and start the Challenger League, we'll probably see a player that has a really tough time at the beginning of the season that grows during the season itself and becomes a tremendous player just in the span of a few months because there's so many resources for them and they seem so committed. I'm looking forward to it. Also, because Ponoob was kind enough to plug the stream that I have, that stream is mostly going to be casting as well. There are tons of streams of people playing, and so I'm going to be specifically trying to cast some games and then answer people's questions. It's not going to be like a fun stream for that reason. It's I guess I shouldn't say it's not going to be a fun stream. It's not going to be a stream where it's just going to be me playing. Should come with questions, and so just come for that kind of thing. If you want to go watch people actually playing, it's not going to be the stream for you. Pwn Noob. I want to be able to plug his channel, but do you stream Pwn Noob?
I don't. I just jump on anybody else's cast when they let me. But cause yeah, I can't even host this. But the reality is here, guys, we got a lot of things moving forward. If you guys like watching SpyParty, we're gonna be around. Jump in the Discord, jump in the lobby, and we'll answer your questions too. That being said, I think we're ready to go for Tobo and Warning Track, and I'll head out if they want to unmute themselves. And
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, good to be here.
that's it, guys. This is Pwn Noob, and guys, I'll be in the stream anyways. Who am I kidding? I'm not gonna leave, but you guys have a lovely rest of your day. Take care.
All right. It's good to be back, Warning Track. I haven't cast with you in too long.
Yeah, it's been a little while, and for any new viewers slash listeners slash whatever, Tobo and I probably started casting 4 years ago, maybe a little longer even.
Me and Track have been casting together since before replays were a thing.
Yeah, and if you ever need proof of our dedication, there it is right there. Before replays were a thing, you literally had to hope someone streamed their games and remembered to save the broadcast, and then we would literally cast the broadcast on Twitch of Twitch from before. It was a real pain in the butt, but that's how much we wanted to analyze this game, is that we'd go through all that, jump through all those hoops just to cast some games, and now it's so much easier. You people don't appreciate what you have at all.
Man, we were so excited when this whole Spectation Replays thing came out. It was incredible.
It made our lives so much easier. We had to cast, uphill in the snow both ways, back when it started.
Exactly. All right, so I don't think we have any specific games lined up right now.
No, I'm fine with whatever. I see Sawchuck is playing. I see a couple people with, over 1,000 games playing. Furby Fubar, for example, great username. I'm fine with whatever you want to do. I'm fine with old replays. I'm fine with whatever. And of course, we will be taking questions regardless of what we're doing throughout. Do not hesitate to ask.
Yeah, I don't have any particularly interesting replays on my system, I don't think.
That's okay. Let's pick something here then. Let's see. What do we got? Let me see here. Anyone in chat have any recommendations too? If there's any things you're following in the lobby right now, any good sets that you want us to cast, we'll just do it.
I also see a lot of vets just hanging out away in the lobby. If one of them wants to take it up on themselves to play each other, I see.
If one of you, wants to slap another in the face with a white glove and challenge on stream right now, you will get cast right now.
I'm gonna call it a few names. I see Verifo, Piers, Warning Track, and Tobo can't play. But,
calling people out.
Bacon's away in the thing. Steph's away. Sawchuck is playing. Wodar's here. Yerend is here. We just cast him. Baroness is here. Lieutenant Hummus is here. Chikata's here, but I think we might have cast him earlier today.
There we go. Yeah, let's give them a minute to decide if they want to do that, and I guess we could talk about a few general things. Right now in chat, Viri, by the way, saying he does indeed have the most games played. That is true. For those of you who don't know, Virifo has more games played than anyone except for maybe Checker. The only thing is he has 2 accounts, and one of them has over 3,100 games on it. So it's spread out over 2 accounts. So Drawn Onward is on the top of the actual leaderboard. But Viri's got him beat by 1,500 games, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, Viri's the only one to actually top 20,000, which that's exactly as crazy as it sounds.
Yeah. Drawn's getting there, but he's not there yet.
No, but he's gonna soon, and I'm sure, knowing Drawn, there's going to be some big announcement and/or stream and/or event where we'll all get a chance to take a couple shots at him.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes. And if you guys don't know Drawn Onward, you should go over right now to twitch.tv/DrawnOnward and follow him, because he has been streaming SpyParty longer and more often than any of us. He used to stream SpyParty every single night at midnight Pacific time for what? It was basically 90% of the days for a 3-year period.
About that, yeah.
What was his nickname?
Crazy.
He had a specific nickname that Checker gave him before he learned his name, like Midnight Streamer or something like that. There was, there was like a little acronym. Maybe chat can remember. There was like a 3-letter or something acronym that Checker gave Drawn when he first started out.
Midnight Streamer sounds like a really bad second-tier Marvel hero. But you know what? At this point, if you just say that in front of the right person, you might get a Netflix show. So give it a try. All right. Anyone in chat jumping in? Anyone want to play, or are we going to have to pick someone here?
Because Slappy and Ponoob went a little bit longer than expected. I think we've got Steph versus Nandalus lined up.
I'm okay with that. Both
But-
entertaining players.
If that's what we're doing, the game hasn't started yet.
Okay. Do you want to pick something in the meantime?
Kaylee says he's willing to play.
Yeah, even if it's just for a little bit. I think Steph is on her way home right now, last I'd heard. So anything to fill the time, yeah. I gotta say though, I want to compliment while we're filling the time anyway. I want to compliment Slappy on his stream the other day. If you guys didn't see,
Yeah, it was really good.
yeah, twitch.tv/Slappy Davis. He did something like 3 hours, sort of just explaining beginner concepts. And what really struck me is that he managed to show so much enthusiasm for things that most of us old pros know, like in the, by memory, right? Like just things we don't have to think about anymore. And he didn't just recite them; he recited them with excitement, as if they were new to him. Really good show for new players, and but still introducing them to intermediate and expert concepts. If you want to get good at this game, that's what you want to be watching.
I like you giving me credit for like these things like as if he was like a bad player and doing these things. He was a really convincing show. Thank you, thank you. It was all kabuki.
I know as much as anyone how hard it is to fake enthusiasm. I might be doing it right now.
That being said, Warning Track here is another fantastic player that does some fantastic streams on SpyParty fans. So if you want to hear a really good player who's really good at talking through their thought processes while they're playing the game, SpyParty fans is a great place to get that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, SpyPartyFans.com is literally the only SpyParty fan site in the world. I started it 4 years ago for exactly a week like this. So check it out if you want high-level stuff.
Okay, so it sounds like chat might be saying we should watch Ponoob versus Nanthalus. It sounds like Nanthalus is just warming up versus Ponoob before Steph gets in here. So
Yeah,
that
sure.
might be
That
it.
works.
Good.
All right, so when I get into the game, I'm going to immediately pause and then wait for you guys. Does that sound good?
That sounds good to me. Looks like they're synchronizing on a courtyard game, yes? Ponoob is Spy?
Yes.
Perfect,
That's
perfect.
what I've got.
Yeah. So that guy who was talking crap and critiquing everyone's play just now, you get to see him play, get to turn the tables on him. And it's funny, there's no way to avoid that when you're casting a match. You end up coming off a little critical because there's always so many things you could have done differently. But we all know that once it's you being analyzed, it's very tough. And Noob knows that as well as anyone, I'm sure.
This is going to be fun. Courtyard is an old classic, a map that both these players are very comfortable on, and away we go. It's going to be Ponoob on the Spy to start things off, Nandalus on the Sniper, and this is going to be fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
for those who don't know, Ponoob, by the way, I would say more than maybe any other high-level player, plays his opponent, knows Spy and Sniper styles very well, and bets big on them.
This is the longest path I've ever seen. He's gone all the way around the statue twice.
All right,
This has
I'm
happened
paused.
before.
I'm
People
paused.
like to do this. Oh, you're
Just
paused?
so you know,
no.
remember I paused at the beginning so that way I wouldn't run out of sync with you guys. So go back to the beginning.
dear.
Oh,
Sorry,
damn it.
sorry.
Okay.
All right. Say
all right.
when.
Okay,
Tobo, you run it, Tobo.
1, playing it.
Okay, so
And-
now we know what's gonna happen. Get ready.
Get
everybody.
ready to watch Ponoob walk around the statue over and over again.
So you can actually get away with this for a good 30 seconds in the beginning. You can just keep moving because the sniper is setting everything up. They're low lighting casts, they're memorizing statues, they're getting comfortable, and you're not going to notice right away. Isn't that the same guy? Isn't he on his third lap? I think this is the kind of thing Noob does when he knows he's being cast because it's funny. So when's he going to stop? Oh, there's the highlight. Yeah. Okay. Now he's in big trouble.
All right, Noob, you gotta find somewhere to land. Or are we just gonna keep doing this? I think we might just keep doing this.
I think he's going to force Nan to shoot. I think the first game is just a throwaway. Oh, there we go. And then Banana Bread.
Banana
This
Bread.
might do it already.
Oh my god.
I would like to really thank Ponoob for demonstrating for our viewers the depth of this game, where you run around in circles. That's I appreciate it, everyone. No, this is as deep as it goes right here, guys. This is it.
This is it. All right. Well, we have the BB, the contact.
Yes.
I mean, we've got our first flirt for 34%.
Can I just say, Spy Party Racing DLC? He just slaps. Now he just takes a drink. It's kind of funny. After all that, he dumped himself in a conversation, did the BB, and I think the seduction target walked up to him And there's the white time ad.
Time ad and a bullet.
Okay. Well, that was silly, but I can appreciate it for what it was.
All right. Apparently, Steph has arrived, so we're going to do the mirror. We're going to have Nan on the spy and Ponoob on the sniper, and then we're going to switch over to Steph versus Nonetheless.
Yeah. I'm sure right now Nonetheless is saying, yeah, gee, thanks for helping me warm up for my match.
Yeah.
So are we paused again?
Are you still pausing before, Slappy?
I am not anymore. That was just for that one
Okay.
because I was worried about jumping into the middle of that one.
I am
Okay,
at
just wanted to make
250,
sure.
250 right now on mine.
Perfect.
Same.
Same here.
Okay, we're good.
All right. Nan starts things off at the statues, picks up his first pair of inspects real quick. I don't think he's going to swap this. No, he does not.
He's not. And this, of course, the first game of the set now.
Yeah. Generally, if you... Oh,
my
what?
I'm going back to look at the replay here. I think he's saying that path. Yeah, that was a wide path. That was a sharp turn into that conversation. And Noob is the kind of sniper who will catch that sort of thing. He does not take a quick A to B. Quickest way is a straight line kind of path there.
Jesus. You know what? I think what happened there was... I think what happened was he was already suspicious from the early statue visit, so he was watching and also wanted to end it quick to get Steph in.
Yeah. But I mean, just so you know, guys, whether that's what happened or not, that's the kind of thing you can get shot for. That wide path, that non-AI path. Computers are efficient. Their job is to get from A to B when you tell them, right? So you want to be that way as the spy as well. And you can absolutely get shot for taking a weird circuitous path that isn't taking place because of something like the briefcase or a collision or repathing or stuff like that. You have to be mindful of it, but you can get shot for walking wrong in SpyParty. Well, they might have to hop back in. I think Steph stepped away for just a minute, or maybe it was a false alarm.
Well, either way, we'll be back into more games soon enough.
Yeah,
Hey, Steph!
There we go.
Steph has arrived, can confirm.
All right, so we are doing Steph versus Nonetheless, right? I'm setting up the config.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, this is the kind of game where you literally have to spend the first couple hours learning how to walk. It's like QWOP, but with bullets and harder.
It's like QWOP, but with bullets.
That's how it feels sometimes, isn't it?
Well, certainly it did before the replay system and the tutorial and all of that.
Yes.
But now that we've got all of these cool features, people are getting good so fast.
Yeah. No, it used to take, if you had 3,000 games in the past and you played someone with 500, you could be pretty confident you were going to whoop them. Not anymore. Now, anyone with, even 500 games, you cannot sleep on. Who knows how many streams they've watched? Who knows how many things that didn't count as games? They were spectate sniping, whatever, learning high-level strategy. And by the way, if you are even marginally famous in this community, they might have watched a bunch of your games specifically.
Yeah. Either way, we are in there.
Say when.
Just immediately go, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
256.
Yes, perfect.
Sounds good.
Steph not taking... There it is. Waited about 12 seconds to take control.
Yeah.
Now, normally, you'd want to take control earlier to get that early flirt in. That's what people almost always do. In this case, the seduction target was at statues anyway, so it didn't actually hurt her that much to wait.
Banana bread.
There's the contact coming off. We've got a good spot for the seduction. Oh no, seduction target bailed on us!
No, red flirt. Oh boy. It's a white BB followed by a red flirt.
Oh, that was a red flirt.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, don't discount the possibility that Steph is trying to frame here. We'll find out soon enough. Probably not, although you might just decide after the red flirt to try it. I'm gonna say probably nope, and probably not if you're.
Swap.
Nan is on the other side, has not rotated, has not seen the statue. I'm looking
Get
at
out of there, Steph.
Did not see the statue, but did see Blondo at the statue. Oh boy, I don't know.
This is gonna be spooky.
The bush is still blocking
He's not checking. He's not checking it.
Has not checked that statue for a good 30 or 40 seconds, I would say.
I think Steph is in the clear.
Not highlight for statues either. Uh-oh. And here we go now.
Oh man.
brings a low light back, I think presumably because, a little worried about the swap, wondering if someone swapped and then went to the next statue, something like that. I think Steph might have got away with this. Gutsy move might
I think
work.
so.
What an unusual decision.
Nat thinks it's the ST. Nat thinks it's orange.
Well, she went to statues early and was in conversation for the BB and then bailed afterwards because of the red flirt. I wonder if that was deliberate.
Oh, this is so cool.
Here's the inspect, though.
Steph picking up her second inspect.
2 flirts away.
1 cycles as well.
Not bad. And I'm not even sure if Steph was seen. Again, nonetheless, not rotating much. Normally, snipers are constantly rotating to see at least far enough to see both sets of statues every 5 to 10 seconds, I would say.
Here's the problem, though. Only 40 seconds left and still needs 2 flirts and is not in position for one.
Right, and I think she's gonna go purloin.
It's gonna be a purloin.
It's gonna be a purloin instead.
Steph ran out of time.
It's a green.
That's the green test. This could be huge. Okay,
Sniper had a good angle of that reject, though. If his eyes were anywhere near the center of the screen, he's gonna know this is happening.
Do we get a reject chain? Oh my God! It's orange. Sorry, orange. Sorry.
Oh wow! And Toby's head blocks it. Toby's head blocks the tray.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, Slappy, can you rewind and show that from the sniper's angle, the fade is not visible because Toby turns and his head blocks the tray at the last second?
Yes, I'm gonna have to exit out of the game and do that, but I absolutely want to.
Please
show
do.
That
was incredible.
Okay, so there's lucky, there's good, and there's lucky and good. Steph played that game really well and got help from the party. Absolutely. She made some of her own luck early on, but at the end, you could not have asked for a better person to take that purloin than Orange Sorry. Oh my goodness.
I don't think I can because I have the autoplay on.
Oh no. Okay. Well, rewind it if you get a chance, everybody.
But we should, that was incredible.
Well, so for those who can't see it or don't remember, basically the fade starts on the guest list. Toby turns his back to the sniper's view so that his neck is blocking most of where the fade is. You really could not confidently say, as sniper, from that angle at least, that was a green rather than a white. Probably should have been zoomed in, though.
Were it anybody else that takes that list, I think Steph might have been in a bit of trouble. It would have been tight, but man, oh man, was that ever something. All right, into the next one. We got Nan on the spy, we got Steph on the sniper. And now, how are we going to top that?
Nan has got I like the delay between games. I hope Nan was looking at the... Oh, boy, misclick.
What?
Okay,
we're fine.
We're good. I hope Nan is noticing, boy, I really just did not cover statues well that game. I didn't rotate nearly enough, and that's one of the reasons I was able to lose. I actually feel like Steph could have won that game with some late flirting. I know she needed 2, and it can be a little obvious, but at that point, did not even have a statue highlight. So you can get away with a lot in that case. White purloin, just straight up.
Oh boy, that's not good. That's not good. The tray is fairly obvious. Does Steph remember?
I think she knows. She's getting a ton of low lights.
1 or 2. I think she's got it down to 2. She's
just gonna wait for confirmation.
It's almost lost for Nan already.
So once again, you're gonna have to hope for an Orange Sorry frame.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh boy, I don't think it's gonna work because I think Steph's probably got it regardless, but she's doing the right thing. She's knowing. Yeah, look at that. Look at the camera.
Yep.
If you're watching it from the sniper side, she's deliberately rocking the camera back and forth. I think to indicate pointing to this person, letting us know that she knows. There's the DA. Oh, Sorry is in with an SDA and bails right after. That's some luck though for Nan.
It is.
Doesn't matter. That's how sure she was, by the way. That actually worked really well for the frame there, that banana bread. A suspected double agent in Sorry's conversation. She leaves quickly afterwards. So that shows you that Steph really was almost positive about that white purloin.
Yeah.
If you guys want, apparently the replays are in a different spot for spectation. If you want to jump out, go to that last game and jump forward, or do you want to just keep going forward?
I think we're okay for now.
Let's just keep rolling.
Yeah.
I think if people really want another look at it, they can just go back in the VOD, but
yeah, But I want to show off this replay system when we get a chance. That slow-mo, frame by frame, here's what it looked like in the moment kind of thing. Very fun to reconstruct the game afterwards because it's so different. It's so different in the moment. It really is.
Yeah.
How about
You look at these replays sometimes and you're like, how on earth did I miss that? It was so obvious, but in the heat of the moment, it's very hard.
when we finish this set, chat, remind me. We're going to go back and watch the game. We'll show off. That'll be a great game to show off the replay system with.
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
Now, the funny thing is, though, that was avoidable for Nan a couple games ago. He could have been at a different angle, maybe zoomed in. He was not zoomed in on the list. I think in that case, it's a simple case of confirmation bias. Like you said, if it were anyone else, he's sitting there thinking it's probably Orange Sorry anyway. And then she calls over a waiter late, and then he knows the guest list is gone. Even not seeing the fate at that point, you're waiting for that purloin to happen, right? And when you expect something to happen in SpyParty, and it does, very hard not to shoot for them.
Are you guys getting a match has ended pop-up?
No.
Not, but I'm not getting another game.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to jump out into lobby and see what's going on. I'll just try to rejoin.
Okay,
there
I
it is. I got
rejoined,
it.
and yeah, gallery's better. So we might want to count us down on this
Okay.
one again, too, then.
Okay, I will pause as soon as it loads up.
All right, 3:30.
Okay. When you guys are ready, Toby, you want to count us down?
Sure.
I think you called him Toby, and I like that.
It's happened before.
I did say Toby like 5 times right before that, so I
All
probably.
right, let's get this thing underway in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And Nan on the sniper zoomed in, staring hard at the ambassador, trying to avoid losing to a time of chaos spot.
Ooh, super fast white purloin though. Staring down the ambassador early on, misses the purloin.
Nan sees it, and Steph, I think, is going to gulp here.
I think Nan has
Confident,
bad
though.
suspects though. Nan knows it wasn't any of the people out front.
Yeah,
So he knows there are people that it wasn't, but I think he's playing this exactly right.
Right, now some of those lowlights on the statues, that's tough, right? Someone could have green purloined and run to statues. You can't be sure about that, but correctly decides to rule them out. At that point, if you're not sure about the purloin, you do need to maybe sometimes get aggressive with those lowlights because you already know you're behind.
Look at this, in the middle of all that chaos, a time ad comes off as well.
Yeah, I think it's pretty smart. I think, unless they're almost positive of who could or couldn't have done it, they're going to spend some time thinking about it and deciding whether or not to make those aggressive lowlights. And there's a time there to do something else while they're reacting to the last thing you did. Chain what you do together so that every time they're reacting to one thing, you're doing the next thing. Get inside that OODA loop.
And we've also got the contact and the first flirt as well. This is looking good for Steph.
Yeah, aggressive but smart. These are very calculated decisions. The white purloin is obviously risky, but it's way less risky in that context than any other one.
Another flirt comes off up to 69. It's still in range for the white test flirt.
Yeah, for those who don't know, if you stand right next to your seduction target, even if you get a white test or ignore the action test completely, you can still finish. I think it's top out of 32, is that right?
34.
34, that's right. I always forget. So in this case, as long as you're within 34, you know that as long as you sidle up next to your seduction target, you will be able to finish.
2 minutes and 15 left to play. We've got 2 missions done, including a big hardtail.
Right,
We've
so the
got 1 flirt left to go. We're looking pretty good.
Yeah, now she clearly wants to do a timer flirt here, and I agree. She's already done a time ad, so she's earned the extra timer flirt time, and having rushed those first 2 missions, no big deal. And it makes sense, and she finishes it.
Timer flirt is done and dusted. 1 mission left to go, and almost 2 minutes to get it. This is huge.
Yeah, so here's the question. Do you do the risky thing and go to statues twice to get inspect? Or do you do something else? You have time to plan out a fingerprint. The Amba's been to a statue and you're right next to it. Is she waiting? Different statue. Interesting. Okay, so if you're going to go to statue anyway, and the Amba oh, just rush a swap. Holds it above the head. That's visible.
Oh man.
Is it hubris?
Steph just barely gets away with it.
I think that was awfully close to not working.
Yeah, I don't agree with the decision to swap. It worked out. I don't think it was the right play. And then we're into the next one already.
Fair enough.
Nan on the spy, Steph on the sniper, and away we go.
Yep, I am at 326. Close enough? Yeah, so I agree completely. I don't think that was normally the right choice. I don't think that usually works. But I can understand aggression for its own sake. You know, even if I don't agree with the choice, it's kind of like in poker, right? You can't always criticize someone for betting out or raising because aggression is its own justification in a game like this. I wouldn't do it, but it's easy to make the case for an aggressive move always, just because it's an aggressive move.
I don't know. I'm of the opinion that we got a big win off the aggressive start. I think
And the red.
I think in that case you just want to ride it out and use that advantage you've already gained from the aggression.
All right, so four low lights, one highlight, one incorrect highlight for that BB. Missed a low light on Walt, but that's okay. Decent outcome on Gallery, I would say.
We do have the proper highlight on Nan, though.
Yes.
Fingerprint on the book. Might be able to start a microfilm with this as well.
Let's see. That's a pretty good place to hide behind that conversation, but you have a tall character and not a lot of cover because the person in front of you in the conversation is Wheels.
Yeah. So nonetheless, wisely decides just to set it back down and head out for his first flirt.
Yeah. What is this? Outlining the map, I think the sniper just did. So that's position Nan was in, just so you guys know, that position on green bookshelf, there's usually a lot of cover from that conversation, so you can get away with microphone pretty easily. But on the other hand, it's very suspicious just being there as a result.
Green time ad as well, so that will be helpful for Nan moving forward.
Yeah, Nan playing a pretty good game. Between the time ad and the fingerprint, a lot of options here that don't involve a hardtail, maybe.
Ooh.
Still.
Safety went off on Alice for a second there.
Might have been a misclick, very quick, very short-lived, but who knows.
Purloin.
Steph is not zoomed in. Steph is zoomed all the way out. She's not looking yet.
I think that was super clean.
Holding the
Steph
drink. Okay.
Sees it now. Sees the drink being held.
Yeah, she's showing us that she knows. You see the cuticle there? Yeah.
But look, nonetheless, playing this super cool, not gulping.
I think it's the right move. I would have said either leave and gulp or stay and sip.
Yeah.
And that's usually what you want to do. Either you want to get rid of it completely or you want to act like, no, this is just a drink. I had this the whole time, buddy.
Yeah.
But I think that Nan's in big trouble. After a very strong start, I just can't imagine Nan's going to finish missions at this point without getting shot. So I think they're going to have to get lucky, have the AI do something, or it's going to be big trouble.
Minute and 30 to play, one fingerprint, and something else left to do. No progress on the flirt either, so this is a difficult situation for Nan, especially with how narrowed down the party is.
Yeah, I think Steph's in control of this game. I don't know if Nan can win, but even if Nan does win, it's going to be with a lot of help from the party. Boots is going to have to do something crazy.
Oh, hello! Oh, hello!
Oh,
Where's
boy.
the bug?
Not looking at all. Not looking at all. Zoomed in on the front of the
You're
map.
in there. And she goes! She puts the book back! Here's the last fingerprint! Could the ambassador just have saved Nanolis the game?
That's so quick, though. You have time.
No!
You have time. Wow.
Steph was tracking the fingerprints!
Oh, what a shot. Okay, so one of two things happened there, and to be fair, we really don't know which it is. Either Steph was tracking them, like you say, which is totally plausible, but the first one was off a different book, and that's tough. People track the briefcase fingerprints a lot better than drink fingerprints or book fingerprints. I'd say statue is second most common for a sniper to catch. It's possible that just looked like a fingerprint, and you can assume sometimes as a sniper, you can assume I missed a fingerprint earlier if you're already suspicious of someone. So she might have just correctly deduced, boy, that just looks like a fingerprint and the timing fits.
Especially with such few people left on low light. She got so many low lights from that purloin.
Yes, yeah.
Almost the entire party turned black.
Yeah, so here's the dirty secret about this game. It's actually incredibly hard to get away with anything if they're looking at you closely at all. You really can't at all. So if you get it down to 2 or 3 people and you just have to watch them, you're going to nail them for a lot of subtle stuff. In this case, it wasn't the shot. It wasn't the possible fingerprint, whether she was tracking it or not, that won her the game. It was getting that many lowlights off the purloin.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, man, that was cool. All right, we're going to balcony. This is going to be interesting. So balcony, as I was saying last time I was on the cast, this is a very small map. It's not always easy to tell what's going on here because everything takes place on the level of really subtle behavioral tells. When you're talking, who you're standing next to, these sorts of, okay,
Sure.
maybe hallucinated a bug?
Yep, that's definitely it. Check out this path the ST does. You don't need to shoot, by the way, because
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
can't be done yet. Can't be done yet, but...
Yeah, that looked exactly like a bug. That was a perfect bug path. He just didn't right-click.
Yep, there it is.
All right. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Holy mackerel. This has really been something.
Yeah, that's not a bad shot. It really isn't. It just, I will say the timing is bad.
Yeah.
Now I'm criticizing that because you should wait to hear the banana bread or at least another talk or something where they could theoretically be done. But on the other hand, let's be honest. At that point, you're going to tunnel on that character so hard that unless Steph does something really awful, I'm just really saying you should have shot them wrong a little later.
Yeah.
So you can tell yourself, I'm almost so sure I'm going to tunnel on this person. I guess on balcony, there's no reason not to wait and maybe someone else does something crazy, but you're probably not getting away from that shot anyway.
All right, next one in. Nan is on the spy side, Steph on the sniper.
Yeah, very far from the ST here, decides to flirt anyway, and that green test saves that decision. 38%, very solid.
Indeed.
Not going to be a 2 flirt, but a standard 3, not bad. You really can't make a game plan on balcony that assumes 2 green flirts close. You have to assume at some point, if you want to finish missions, you're going to have to get 3 talks in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So you're still in range for that, so your game plan should not be busted.
Good time for a banana bread, and here it comes.
Banana
The
bread.
double agent is now complete on a white test, though, so...
Only talker. That's rough. No lowlights, though. Just the ambassador at a conversation.
I like how Steph was zoomed in on the feet during that for some reason.
Yeah, it's almost like, here's where I'm going to shoot them later.
Yeah. Few correct lowlights. I'm not sure what for. And steps away. Only 45 seconds left on the clock, so this is going to be really, really tight.
Yeah, by the way, if you guys want more analysis, just convince them to play a different map. Balcony, very idiosyncratic. Highlights and lowlights are not only very specific to person and circumstance, but they're very fluid. They don't mean much. You can get shot with a lowlight. Highlight might just be tracking who talked and not who's most suspicious.
Look at that!
Yep, it makes sense.
Yeah, shot on 2 talks and a white contact. That is definitely the kind of shot you'll see taken on this map.
Right. So I've played Stefan Balcony a bunch, and sometimes she drives me nuts because she shoots me correctly when I could not possibly have been done. And I always say, why on earth did you shoot me? And she always gives me the exact same answer, because you were the spy.
Yep.
And how am I supposed to argue with that? So I don't even bother anymore.
Yeah.
She's scary good at balcony, and let's say scary good confusing, or scary confusing good at balcony, because you don't even know why you lost sometimes.
Yeah, that's a shot that makes sense though. Like, if assuming her seduction target was Plane Twin, then yeah,
Right.
that could have been a 2 flirt game.
Yeah, it's hard to be confident. Oh, I'm positive she wasn't standing next to the same person twice. That's a tough thing to be confident of. But just to explain the logic a little bit here, she talked 3 times, but she was also highlighted specifically for talking during BB. And if you think that was a white BB and it's her, therefore that talk wasn't a flirt. So she really talked 2 times.
Yeah.
For flirt tracking purposes. Are they picking a different map? Oh, please say yes.
Are we playing old art right now? Is this gonna happen? Are we playing old art Courtyard 1?
Yeah, let me just emphasize here. Not just old art. Old art Courtyard 1. Oh, God, thank God. Oh, thank God.
Okay, thank God. Jesus.
Yeah, for those of you guys who don't know.
Like that, guys.
Until maybe a year or 2 ago, guys, almost all of our serious games and even most of our non-serious games were played on old placeholder programmer art, basically old Sims assets, really ugly stuff, but good for just tuning the game, right? You don't want to make a bunch of high-level, subtle human animations and then have to change, the way everything works.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's more
All right,
up
we
Elmas
are-
Nose stuff.
We are in to pub though. Any 4 of 7 with Steph on the spy and Nanolis on the sniper.
Here's the downside of not taking control. The AI takes her out into no man's land, away from every mission site.
Another interesting thing about this map, for those who may not know, is Purloin the guest list works very differently here. Yes, you can walk up to the bar and grab the list as usual, but you can also delegate, which takes a drink without taking the guest list, and then you have a minute to send somebody else
White
from
swap.
a conversation to the oh god, that's
right to the bar. It's interesting. Purloin normally with the waiter is a mobile mission that you can call over. Here it's totally stationary, and that matters too for rushing purposes. Bug right into conversation. Oh, I think Nan's all over this. Nan, you got to shoot, buddy.
That was a big rush.
Has not even seen the swap, I don't think.
Oh my god.
This is gonna work. This is gonna work.
Steph, you are a goddamn hero.
Oh, so let me look at this again here. Let me take a look. After the swap.
Okay. That was incredible. The swap was out there and it was visible at a couple of moments.
Oh, it was. But on the sniper side, Nan, I'm looking right now. I don't think the statue ever comes into view from Nan's perspective. And here's why. Nan correctly assumes, and this is a totally reasonable assumption, nobody's going to swap that early. I'm tagging people for statues. So if I swing around 30 seconds from now and see a swap, I'll have it narrowed down. I'll probably remember it's Steph. And that's all true. Unless they rush every other mission in those 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's only on screen for like a couple of frames at 253, but like even then, you're not looking at it at that point.
Yeah, so I just counted it off. He tags Steph for being at statues. 3 seconds after he pulls away, she does the swap, and he never goes back to look.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome. I'm sorry you guys saw that in slideshow mode, but trust us when we say it was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. And Nan, though, remember, Nan had that problem on Courtyard. Did not rotate around to see the statue again. So this is the second time that failing to rotate and check statues throughout the game on a regular basis has cost Nan a game on Sniper.
All right, into the next one. Nan at the bar to start off the proceedings as the gentleman that we in the community like to call Papa Danger.
Yeah, I'm at 310.
I am also at 310.
So am I.
Good.
Grabs a drink for the delegate, so we're going to be able to show this off. Takes a sip before leaving the bar, which is interesting.
Just playing it cool.
All right.
What is that? Steph zooming in on the queen. I wonder if this is Steph again telling us, knowing that she's being cast, telling us she suspects the queen for some reason. I'm not sure why, though.
It might well be. Might be worth not delegating here because there was not a whole lot of activity at the bar early on.
Yeah, I agree.
So unfortunately, even though we had a bit of a hot start here, Nanolis didn't wind up being rewarded for it and is now behind on time. 2 minutes and 15 left to play and no progress on anything.
True, but Steph does have 2 highlights and seems a little jumpy, it's fair to say. So you might get a shot anyway. Oh, finally Lowlight's queen. Interesting. I think at that point, whatever she thought about queen before, queen has just stayed there the whole time. So she's correct. If queen is the spy, if queen is Nanolis, not even close to finishing.
Nanolis is not even close to finishing either as he steps into statues for his first mission with 1 minute and 40 left to play.
So here's the thing.
This is not a good situation.
No, and I wouldn't do inspect at this point because at this point you're deciding, am I going to try to finish or not? And I don't see how the answer can be yes, I'm going to try to finish, unless you're going to do a time ad, and that might be what happens next. It is.
There it is. It's a green test.
So that does make it, I will say that makes more sense now. Inspect only makes sense if you're planning on doing something like that. Otherwise, you're trying to frame or do something else more aggressive or desperate, in which case you don't want to have that highlight. Interestingly enough, though, Steph did not highlight him for that. Not highlighting for statues this game necessarily.
Hello, Ambassador. How are you?
That's pretty darn good. But remember, that bug is not great. Oh, got away with it. Steph was on the far side. Still visible, but not a great angle. Not a great angle at all.
It wound up working out, though. It wasn't a pretty bug, but when your opponent's not looking, you can get away with murder. Minute and 30 left to play, 2 missions complete, no flirts yet.
Oh, really good leave there from Nan. Nice long pause on that idle animation. Nailed it. Leaving that conversation. Waited for 1 full cycle, and it's a temptation to leave right away afterwards before you start another cycle, which is technically a tell. But if you delay a little longer, you look really AI-like, and Analyst did it basically perfectly.
All right, back at the bar for a delegate. 1 minute to go. We still need the contact. Double Agent, though, is also at the bar, so not in a position where she's able to be contacted. So we're going to have to take this delegate first and the contact after. Here comes the Double Agent towards the outside, so we're going to be able to get this off sooner rather than later, but there are still a lot of people outside the conversations. This is going to be a rough contact if he goes for it.
Yeah, still gonna have trouble finishing even after that time. At 30 seconds left, I just don't see what you're gonna do. There's no seduce done.
And the end of red.
There's the contact. We've got the delegate off. 20 seconds.
It happens.
There's the take.
I don't think it's seen yet. I think Nan might
I
have
think
might have first
Nandalus
win.
may have found one.
Got one. There's the guest list gone. Too late. Too late. Woo!
I am honestly impressed that Nandalus was so far behind and still found a way to pull that off. That was some mental fortitude by Nandalus there.
We are
Yeah,
restarting the stream, by the way. Apparently, my internet is going in and out, so I'm going to be doing a quick restart. So hold on to
Okay,
your
say when.
analysis for just a little bit.